my name is Margaret Lee, and I will be presenting a talk on harnessing the power of education in order to spread ideas of equality. The people of ancient Greece believed that a powerful titan by the name of Prometheus formed human beings out of clay. He then defied the will of the gods by giving fire to humans, granting them wisdom, knowledge, and civilization. Similar to Prometheus, society shapes the children of today like clay into the adults of tomorrow. And the fire of civilization is passed on to the next generation through education. Some people might say that education is the instruction of facts, a way to pass on our knowledge to younger generations. I, however, believe that education is the way to challenge the status quo. By teaching students new information, we are constantly encouraging them to explore past their current knowledge, to break out of what they already know, and to question the world around them. By cultivating this sort of curiosity, we are playing an important part in determining the innovative nature of our future. And that is what scares people. 2021 marked an unprecedented wave of book challenges. According to the New York Times, parents, lawmakers, activists, and school board officials across America attempted to ban books at an alarming rate. In fact, the American Library Association reported 330 cases of book challenges between September and December alone, more than twice the amount in 2020. And this year, PEN America reports that educational gag orders have increased 250% compared to 2021. As more than ever, legislators across America are trying to limit conversations surrounding race and LGBTQ+ matters in classrooms. This exertion of control over the education of Americans is becoming reminiscent of that in dictatorships, and that scares me, and it should scare you too. It's true that people are quick to reject what they don't deem appropriate and to argue against ideas that they disagree with. But it's something entirely different to lobby for certain topics to be completely cut from American classrooms. But where does this fear come from? In my eyes, it comes from traditionalists, those who are struggling to adjust to the rapid changes of our world and who want to stay in their comfort zone. While talking about racism and sexism and homophobia can be difficult topics to cover, there's no right way to approach them, and in many cases, it turns into a political debate, a conversation where someone is trying to push their beliefs on others. This manipulation of facts is especially detrimental to youth, students in K-12 classrooms. For every word that comes out of an adult's mouth and every action that adults take is similar to a hand pressing clay, as the youth around are influenced to follow their elders. And because young adults are so impressionable, their behavior often reflects the environment that they grow up in. Thus, education makes all the difference. The Declaration of Independence states that all men are created equal, and that each citizen is endowed to their rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. However, the current state of America leaves out, more often than not, the disabled, LGBTQ+, people of color, Native American, and female populations. In order to truly achieve liberty and justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion must be achieved in the United States, because we are still lacking in those areas. In a society where, according to a Harvard Public Health report, 31% of all women say they have been discriminated against when applying for jobs due to their gender, and in a society where a 2021 CDC report states that Black women are 3 times as likely to die from pregnancy than white women, it's clear that we have yet to achieve true liberty and justice. But the root of all types of discrimination can be found in holding prejudices. Discrimination and intolerance occurs because people are led to believe that others are different, below them, and less deserving of respect. So what can we do to change that narrative? To me, the best solution seems to be education reform. And with 90% of Americans receiving up to a high school education, it seems fitting that we start in the classrooms, because ultimately education is a foundation of society. And by mandating the study of diversity, equity, and inclusion in a high school setting, the more our overall society will learn the importance of inclusion and representation. By teaching students about people from various backgrounds, ethnic studies has the power to broaden the mindsets of children and to help them see people of various ethnicities as equals. That is why inclusive education is so important, because changing the school curriculum means changing the narrative that is being presented to the future stewards of our nation. After all, second to home, school is one of the most life-changing places for students. So if we can change the way that children learn about diversity in our schools, we have an amazing chance at forming a more tolerable, open-minded society. Once the impression is made that we are all equal, if those ideas of equality are taught to students when they're young, the more they will come to realize their merit. In order to truly change misconceptions of reality and false differences, we need to change our education. Now, I'm not saying that we can eradicate discrimination completely, but by covering more diverse topics in the classroom, we have the ability to mitigate such issues. And I'm elated to see that we are making waves in the right direction. Just recently, College Board announced an advanced placement course in African American Studies. And by the 2025 to 2026 school year, California's Assembly Bill 101, which requires California students to take an ethnic studies class in order to graduate from high school, will come to fruition. But there is still a long way to go, and I believe that we can do it. After all, it is society's duty to help instill those values in the education of young adults. It is society's responsibility to make sure that the young adults of this world are unaccepting of racism and intolerance. Because as the Prometheuses of this world, the ideals of liberty and justice for all must be the fire passed on through education to a new generation in order for America to finally fulfill its creed. Thank you.